Hey, what's up, everyone? I have a few minutes this morning, so I just wanted to throw up a quick preliminary video review for the Juno-Di. I've had it since Wednesday afternoon, and I have to say that I am very impressed with the Juno-Di. Roland has done their homework, and I think it is safe to say that the Juno-Di will be a very big seller for Roland. If you have the Juno-Di or the Juno-Di LE, it is well worth the upgrade. The most obvious thing you see here is that the whole appearance has changed. Roland has made some major updates to the Juno-Di line, and what they've done is they've taken the Juno-Di and they've made it look like the current Juno series. It has that nice retro look with the blue and red striping going down the panel. The knobs have that simulated chrome cap to them as well. So overall, very retro looking, very sleek looking. In terms of durability, in my opinion, I think that the Juno-Di is built a little bit better. I think the plastic feels stronger, it feels thicker, so it might hold up a little bit better on the road to bumps and bruises. Let's start here to the left. Here we have the USB file player, not something new to Roland, but new to the Juno-Di. You can play WAV files, AIFF, MP3s, and you can play MIDI files through that as well. D-Beam, you all know what that is. The mode mic section, this is new. You now can plug a microphone into the DI and you can sing and monitor your voice through the synth. A dedicated volume knob on the panel, a dedicated reverb button on the panel with adjustable settings as well. The input jack for the microphone is not XLR and there is not phantom power. The input jack is a standard 1/4 inch jack, so keep that in mind. You don't have XLR jacks and you don't have phantom power. We also have an audio input jack. It is a 1/8 inch jack, like a headphone jack. You can hook up a CD player, MP3 player, sampler, drum machine, or whatever you want. And to answer a question I know people are going to ask, the answer is no. You cannot take the incoming audio and run it through the filter section. It's just a standard input. With the mic jack, we also have access to a vocoder. The vocoder I think is pretty good. Keep in mind that the vocoder, the quality of your output will depend on the quality of your microphone. If you use a cheap microphone, it's going to sound like a cheap vocoder, okay? In the keyboard section, we have the split the dual, the new super layer feature. The super layer feature is pretty cool because essentially what it does is it takes a single tone or a single oscillator and and you can stack it upon itself up to 5 times, and then you can detune each of those oscillators, and it makes a really fat lead patch. We still have the arpeggio button, the chord memory, the V-Link. I don't know anybody who uses that, but I want to show you something here about the transpose. Something's changed. If I press the transpose button and I go up 1, the screen now gives me an indication of what key signature I've transposed to. And if I release that button, the LED stays active to give me a visual indicator to know that I'm not playing in the standard key of C. So that's a nice new feature. We can now run on batteries. You have to use rechargeable. You cannot use alkaline. You have numeric entry still. We got the new favorite tone feature. Again, not a new feature for Roland, but new to the Juno-Di. That essentially is you got 10 banks and you can assign 10 of your favorite tones in each bank, giving you a total of 100 favorite tones. I'll post a whole separate video explaining that in more detail. Above that, a new screen. To those of you out there who have a Juno-Di or a Juno-Di LE, when you sit down and see this new screen, you might do something involuntary. It's that much better. It's large, the contrast is better, the text is larger, you have 3 lines of text, and now there's a dedicated contrast knob on the back panel. You don't have to go into a menu to adjust that anymore. And while I'm up here, there's text all the way across the top of the keyboard to give you an indication of where your jacks are on the rear. So now you don't have to run to the back of the keyboard to look for your jacks. You can stand over top of it and see where your jacks are. To the right of the screen, this is not some groundbreaking technology, but a welcomed addition to the Juno-Di, and that is a data dial. So it's good to have that. Let's see. To the right of that, we have the left and right cursor button, but what Roland has also done is they've added up and down, so now you have full directional cursor buttons. Let's see. This is the song player features over here. The song player is pretty cool. It's got the center cancel feature where you can take a lead or a solo vocal track of an MP3 and reduce it or cut it out. That's kind of hit and miss. It's not going to work with all MP3s, so you got to kind of mess around with them, but overall, pretty good feature. We also have the rhythm patterns. The best way to look at the rhythm patterns is look at them like a glorified metronome, okay? And when you're playing, instead of playing to the click sound of a metronome, you have rhythm patterns that are tied to the preset drum kits. And as I press that button, you may have noticed the LEDs have become active on the category section. Now what we have here is we have 24 styles, and under each style we have 6 variations. And you can trigger those by simply pressing the category button. And I'll give you an example of that. This is the pop style. Some of them have light fillings. Okay, so these are really nice if you just want to have that quick inspiration groove. And you can make it stop by just pressing that button again, or use the start stop button. And again, you have 24 styles, and in each of those styles you have 6 variations. This is the sound modify section. There are some major changes in this department. I'm going to have to post a separate video to explain those differences, but you still have your basic controls. You got a few controls under your envelopes. You've got your filters. We do have a dedicated reverb knob on the panel now, so that's really nice to have. The key action still feels the same. It's not a high-end synth action or a high-end semi-weighted action, but it's not too bad. Again, guys, overall, I think the Juno-Di is well worth the money. If you're looking for a keyboard for your first synth, you can't go wrong with this one. If you're like myself and you've been playing for a long time, you're going to like the Juno-Di because there are a lot of pro features that you can get with this keyboard using the software editor. And but again, overall, I'm very impressed, and I think it's well worth the money. Stay tuned. I'm going to try and post some videos this weekend where I'm going to go into detail and show some of the patches and show the differences and show you what Roland has done here. Anybody has any questions, just let me know. Well, while I'm here, I'll show you one quick patch actually, or maybe one or two, to show you the differences. I'm in the acoustic guitar section, and on the old Juno-Di and the Juno-Di LE, when you played an acoustic guitar, it just simply behaved like this. Okay, but now with the new Juno-Di, you can do stuff like this. Okay, so now we have those velocity switch slides. So that's just one of the new patches. Major improvement in the sound categories, okay? But stay tuned. I hopefully will have some videos up this weekend. Again, keep in mind I'm doing some home repair, so it may take me a little bit of time to get those videos up. If anybody has any questions, just shoot me an email, okay?